Okay, so I'm back on that 3-year-old heat pump that had a failed defrost control board. They went ahead and warranted the defrost control board, as well as gave me a brand new defrost thermostat. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap this thing out. I've kept the high voltage breaker off out here, the disconnect off, and I went ahead and turned off the indoor air handler as well, so I don't have 24 volts out here anymore. Otherwise, when I pull this plug here, I'd have a R call, you know, could have 24 volts here. I just don't want to do it with it hot. So I verified that my 24 volts is dead between R and C, and they have no high voltage now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this board swapped out, and then I gotta do the defrost thermostat, route the wire through, and we'll test this new board, and make sure that this thing is defrosting. Okay, so I got the board mounted up here. I'm just going through it wire for wire. I just took off the pen connectors here, left my fan terminals connected, my Y terminal, and the defrost thermostat. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plug these in. That's why I like to kill power to the air handler. That way the 24 volts is no longer here. If you are testing these boards, something I should mention, you always wanna make sure they have 24 volts to the board out here. I didn't show that in my video. But you want to make sure between, you know, C and R that you have 24 volts before you can condemn a defrost board for not defrosting, because if you don't have that 24 volts, the outdoor unit will run. It'll still get C to Y, you know, C to O like it's supposed to in a cooling mode when it switches over. But if the R is not present, right, then it will not go into a defrost. It doesn't run that timer. So you can't get the board to defrost if you don't have R to the outside. So it's something to remember. So whenever I do a defrost board swap, even though this is just a plug and play here, I like to take the turn the indoor air handler off. So I kept the disconnect off here since I've been gone, and I just went inside and killed power to the air handler and confirmed that I didn't have C and R anymore out here. Before, when I tested this one, I did have 24 volts, but it just wasn't defrosting, and my defrost thermostat was closed. So I just wanted to mention that. I figured it's worth mentioning. Okay, so this is the new defrost thermostat here, and this is a L65F 33-33. So that means this will close when it gets to 33 degrees, and then it will open once it hits 65 degrees. So I'm going to keep the timer on this one at 60. That's where it was before. Since this one closes at freezing, a little above freezing, we'll keep the timer at 60. Now, if this was closing below freezing, I'd probably adjust it to 30, but I don't want these guys' energy bill to go up. They're used to it being at 60, so we'll leave it. But yeah, so what that means is, if you see that L65F-33, you can't really see the other side of that. That means it's going to close at 33, and then it's going to open back up at 65. All right, so we're going to have to put that down inside and route the wires around. Okay, so I popped the top on the unit here. This one's pretty short, so I don't have to go so far down into it. You can see the defrost thermostat location right there. And you just got to get that loose and pull the wires from the inside. And it's just got a little attachment like this. It just clips like that. Get it loose. Sometimes you just go like that and it'll pop free. Not too shabby. Sometimes they can be a bear. Luckily this doesn't have ice on it anymore. Completely free ice, so that's nice. Okay, so I got the new defrost thermostat installed here. Went ahead and just put a zip tie out right here to kind of tie all these wires together. Hopefully prevent any shorts in the future. But that's in now. Go ahead and install this on the new board, and then zip tie up all my wires on the inside here. You can see this just comes out right here. We'll put a zip tie down here. I had to cut this one, but I should be able to feed a zip tie straight through this, just like so. And then keep a zip tie there. And then of course zip tie this bundle once I connect the defrost thermostat where it goes right here on the board. Okay. Well, I just got done putting the top on, and I'm not sure if you can see that. That zip tie right there for the compressor wires, looks like it's almost broke all the way through. I don't know if I did that or it's just because they used a white zip tie from the factory on a part on the system that's exposed to UV rays all the time. You would think you'd want to use a black UV rated zip tie. So I'm gonna have to take this top off, and I'm gonna put a piece of UV rated Armaflex, that K-Flex stuff. I'm gonna put that around it, and then zip tie it to that pipe, and then zip tie the wires to it. That'll definitely end up causing a short. Them wires will fall right on that compressor suction line and end up with a high voltage short. Okay, I went ahead and cut that zip tie completely off, that white one. I felt like if the outside part of it had failed, that inside wouldn't be far behind. So I put some of that K-Flex on there, and I wrapped it in some 10 mil Pro Select UV rated tape. Put some Super 33 around the wires just for added protection from rubbing. And I put two 50-pound rated UV resistant zip ties on that to hold it. So not gonna break down too fast. This part will of course get hammered more than this, but two zip ties on it, I figure it's better than what it was. Should last for a while. If they have me come out and service it again, I'll check it, but feel better about that. All right, I got the defrost thermostat in place here. Defrost board is put in. Defrost time is set at 60 minutes. Got it zip tied. Put a zip tie through there. Got another one down here. Top's back on. All my low voltage wires are all connected over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and restore power out here at the disconnect, go inside and restore power at the air handler. And then I'll go ahead and turn the thermostat over to heating without the emergency heat. And we'll test this defrost and make sure that this thing goes into a defrost. So without all that ice restricting this coil, this thing's been running several minutes now. You can already see there is no ice forming on this thing. Before, I wish they shouldn't say ice, we were getting bands of frost. And that's because the inside of this coil was completely slammed with ice and this thing wasn't able to move enough air. So right now it's been running several minutes and we do not have any of those bands of frost building up on this unit. Okay, we've been running long enough here. I just went ahead and tested the defrost thermostat. It is closed here. So I'm gonna go ahead and short those test pins out and see if we can't get this thing to go into a defrost. And if it does go into defrost, looks like my diagnostic was correct last time I was here. All right, let's go ahead and speed up these pins and see if we go into defrost here. It's a new board. There we go. So it is going into defrost now. Outdoor fan motor has shut off. It's spinning without power right now. You could hear that reversing valve shift. It's now in cooling mode, so the outdoor coil is now the hot coil. It went from the cold coil to the hot coil. Indoor coil goes from the hot coil to cold coil and defrost. So this thing's gonna go through its cycle until this defrost thermostat opens up. It should open up when it hits 65 degrees on the outdoor coil. So once it hits 65 degrees, the reversing valve will shift again and it will go back into heating operation and the outdoor fan motor should start. So you can hear it just shifted again. Now the outdoor fan motor has started again and now we're back in heating mode. So went from hot air coming off the top with no outdoor fan. Now we have it cooler air coming off the top and the outdoor fan motor is running again. So you saw I sped those pins up and it went into a defrost. This is a brand new board, so it was at the start of that timer, so I had to wait a little longer for it to go into a defrost. But things functioning now. All right, well, I'm leaving that job. Everything ended up okay. Thermostat satisfied. Defrost did defrost. Before, when I was doing the speed up pins, I wasn't getting an actual defrost. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm using my camera versus that piece of junk GoPro. I was looking at it. One of my microphones has some debris over it. It's not for me. It looks like it's from inside the camera. So I think that's the issue I've been having with my microphone since I got that. It's been steadily getting worse and worse. I might have to take that camera apart if I want to use it anymore. But yeah, that thing's back in defrosting. So they're happy, back up and running. Carrier, it was pretty sweet of them to do the defrost board and the thermostat. The thermostat was closed before, so the thermostat was functional, but they went ahead and swapped them both out. So kudos to them, you know, doing the right thing. All right, I want to say thanks for watching. I appreciate it, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and you guys stay safe out there. Get home safe to your families. Talk to everybody later.